I'm actually really surprised right off the bat at how small this box is compared to the Meta Quest box for the Meta Quest 2 or the Oculus Quest 2. Right off the bat, we have one of these pull tabs. Looks like I'm supposed to pull from this side and pull that way. Slides open. Lovely. And there it is. There is the Meta Quest 3 headset. And right off the bat, one of the things that I remember hearing some people talking about was the QR code right here inside the box. So it's got this little scan to start QR code. But I guess if you take your mobile phone, scan that, and then it gets started. But before we get started with that, I want to compare just the size of the headset, the 2 versus the 3, and see what we can see. I have a very customized Meta Quest 2. As you'll notice when I pull it out of the box here, my Quest 2 is fully fit with this Bobo VR headset strap with the battery attachment on the back. I really like that, so I'm excited to see what sort of comfort the 3 offers compared to the 2 with the Bobo VR strap. But of course, I've got to remember that the original strap that came with the 2 was not super comfortable to begin with. So let's set this aside and we will check out the 3. So right off the bat, controllers they feel tiny in my hands compared to the old controllers. So I'm thinking that's going to be a really nice advantage, although with those controllers being so small, I kind of worry that they're going to also slip out of your hands. So I saw on some channels that some of the straps and some of the adapters work, the same kind of adapter with a 2 that works with a 3. But I'm curious, without the rings, also, like, are you going to bash your thumbs into things a little bit more? What's that going to feel like? So very comfortable in the hands. These feel very ergonomic, but almost for a guy with my size hands, they almost feel a little bit too small. So we'll see what that's like. Then comparing the actual headset itself. What does it say here? We've got a little thing inside there that looks like that, showing the whatever this is, whatever that symbol is. And yeah, so it's like, pop that out if you've got glasses, or put your eyeballs in there, something like that. Not super intuitive what it says, but I'm guessing you just strap it to your face and off you're running. It's got the same reminders that I remember seeing in the inside of the Quest 2, which is like don't expose to direct sunlight and like don't wipe it down with water. There's what that looks like for you. No liquid cleaners. And then over here, no sunlight on the lenses. So that's what that looks like on the inside. As you can see, very comfortable looking design. I've heard that that actually weighs slightly more than the Quest 2 headset, but with the weight closer to your face, it's more comfortable. Now, that being said, I've also heard some people say it's really comfortable, but then after they wear it for like 45 minutes to an hour, the weight does start to feel a little bit heavy. And I also saw a review that mentioned that we do not have a tight fit here by the nose. As you'll notice on my Quest 2, I've got this custom, I forget who makes this, VR cover. Yes, the VR cover, this red part, it's actually a little thing that snaps in with this removable liner in here. And the nice thing about this, let me pop it out, I can show you, on the 2, is that with this cover that pops out, the face cover is removable, so you can take this off, you can wash it, you can wipe it down, and then once you're done wiping it down, then you can throw a new one on there, hand it to your friend, and they can sweat to their heart's content inside that. The other thing, as you'll notice when I put this on, is that this little nose piece does a really good job blocking out the ambient light. It's kind of funky right now. But when that blocks out the ambient light, then you don't have light leaks coming in from the bottom of the headset that are kind of distracting as you're trying to go for that full immersion in whatever virtual world that you're in. So instead, having this little nose piece block out the light coming up from the nose right? See how it just kind of sits right here on my nose? You don't get that with the Quest 3. So it'd be interesting to see what that's like once we actually strap it to the head. Another interesting feature I've heard some folks talk about is that you do have the USB-C charging port right here that's actually built into the strap. So as this moves, what that means for moving the port may be something that's beneficial for a headset that's custom like this, where, you know, as your head's moving around, maybe you're going to want this to move with the strap instead of having this sort of pivot design. Not sure what that's going to be like. It's going to be interesting. So let's take a look here. First impressions, very similar design, very nice, I would say. It's also interesting to just look at the size and shape of this to say it feels like some of this, I don't know how much of this was out before the release of the product, but some of this feels like similar in size and shape, and you know, maybe it's just the pancake lenses that offer themselves to that, but similar in size and shape and model to the Apple Pro, Vision Pro that we've seen the mock-ups of, and some people have actually gotten their hands on. I have not. But I don't think these are competitor products. I think that the MetaQuest 3 is a fun family product for gaming and casual computing. I think the Vision Pro by Apple is going to be for designers, for people who want the best of the best. This is plastic, that one's metal. It's going to be a totally different product. But that being said, let's go ahead and take the lens cap cover things off. Okay. And there's nothing else in the box, I think. Let's double check that. Yep, no, that's it. So you just scan there to start. So before we even start, I'm going to put this on my face. Or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should read the instructions first. Okay. We're going to read the instructions. Scan this little QR code here. Choose how to connect your headset to Wi-Fi. There we go. It says, use a QR code from this app. You tap that. It says, phone already connected to Wi-Fi. Yes, it is. You type in your password, which I'm not going to share with you. There we go. And then you've got a little QR code on here that you put the headset on, and then you scan the QR code. So first impressions, the strap, fairly comfortable, but a little loose right outside the box. Very intuitive. You just slide those to the side, and it does feel like it tightens down. Yeah, kind of heavier. Not sure what that snap was. Hopefully a good snap. And presumably there's a button over here that turns it on. Maybe it's a press and hold. Maybe I have to read the instructions. Oh, there we go. Okay, well, right off the bat, I can say that the slightly wider field of view is getting very close to where we no longer will have that goggles effect, feeling like you're looking through like long, skinny goggles. We're not quite there yet. I would love to see a 120 degree field of view. This one, I think, has a 102 degree field of view. But yeah, right off the bat, I think oh man, color pass-through. Okay, that's great. I knew that this was here, but it is a pleasant treat to be able to see my full environment in color. All right, let's tighten the head strap here. Okay, there we go. It's giving me a little tutorial up on the screen of here's how you take the controller, and here's how you pull that tab out of that controller. Same thing over here. We're going to take this controller, we're going to pull it out, and then we've got access to the controller. Great. Nothing too fancy. I will try to figure out how to share these graphics later. You know, there's probably a way in here. Let's see, can I look at the headset, scan with headset? We'll get there. But I'm pretty sure once I can get this all connected, I can share the screen graphics, and then I can show you what I'm seeing on here. But yeah, already actually the sides feel like they're nearly gone. I feel like I could comfortably do this. Like, this is clear, it's crisp, looks good. All right, let's give it a try. So I would like English. Yep, we're gonna select that. Adjust the straps. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already did that, but these back straps, you can kind of see back here. These straps go side to side, and then the top strap just cinches down. Excellent. Good to go. Headset should fit comfortably and securely around the head. Great. Adjust the headset, tilt it forward and back until it's comfortable and you can see the screen clearly. This is another thing with the pancake lenses. Instead of the Fresnels, you know, before it felt like there was a perfect spot having your eyes right in the middle that looked good. These, you can move them around, up, down, left, right, and everything looks good all over the place. So it is actually quite comfortable vision-wise to look at this headset. So, okay. Let's check this out. Continue. Adjust the lenses. Turn the wheel at the bottom of the headset to adjust the lenses until this text is clear and comfortable to read. So there should be a wheel somewhere down here. Turn the wheel. Okay. Now it feels like I'm at the optometrist office and the optometrist is asking me 1 or 2, 1 or 2. Yeah, I'm moving it. It feels like it's not making a whole lot of difference. Oh, there we go. Yeah, maybe. So this is the, I think it's the IPD. Is that right? The interpupillary distance. So it's moving the thing slightly in and out. Much easier than the 1, 2, or 3 that we had down here. As you look in this one, these, they just kind of slide out like in 3 different configurations. I don't know if you can see that. But there was kind of 3 configurations. You had easy, medium, and hard. And on these, there's much more nuance to getting it really kind of perfectly dialed in. Though I would love to get an actual measurement from my optometrist, because as I'm measuring this, it gives me on the screen 68, 66, 67. So I'm sure the optometrist could tell you what your IPD is, and then you could go from there. So turn the wheels at the bottom of the headset, adjust the lenses. Great. Choose how to connect. All right, hold on. Maybe this isn't quite great. It feels slightly off. The question is like, where did I start? Sure, somewhere like that. So we're gonna get the QR code. This again is where I'm gonna scan. I just look down. Great. It says you can do this. Great. We're just gonna look at this code. QR code scanned. Easy peasy. Connecting to Wi-Fi. That was easy. A whole lot easier than going through and selecting, you know, every single digit of your Wi-Fi. Also will be interesting to see, do the Quest 3 apps, are they compatible with the Quest 2? Okay, interesting note here. Lots of light leak coming up through the nose. So at least while there's no bright visuals in my face, this light leak is quite distracting. It'll be nice to get a little nose pad to throw in here. Otherwise, you know, maybe just some duct tape or something.
Welcome to your new Meta Quest.
Welcome to the Meta
Before
Quest.
you explore, let's create a boundary to make sure you don't bump into anything while you're immersed in virtual experiences.
So this was an interesting feature that I saw, was that it's going to try to create a boundary without even drawing one on the floor. And I've heard that it works sort of okay, but people still like drawing on the floor. So let's take a look around. There's a box over here. It's actually doing a pretty good job. Probably it looks like through LiDAR scanning that it's kind of figuring out where my floor is, where my walls are. It says I can walk over there. Room scale boundary, sure, why not? Great.
Time to open your universal menu to choose what to do next. Press the Meta button on your controller.
Okay. So, all set. I will say again, I think the mixed reality, like it's much easier to be able to sit on the couch and kind of feel comfortable in your own environment when it's in color versus when it was in black and white. So I could see this, you know, turn it on, give your dog a treat, talk to a friend, stuff like that. So, Reserve a copy of Asgard's Wrath. Sure, because it's a free game that comes for free with the thing. You might as well try it, and maybe it's good. So we'll get it because it's free. But I don't know if it's good or if it's just going to take up lots of space on the headset. Let's see if, before I go any further, let's see if I can stream. There we go. So yeah, so now you're seeing what I'm seeing. So as you can see what I see when you see what I see, this is my computer set up here in front of me. I can look over here and we can do the Hall of Mirrors, or I can look back. But it's pretty comfortable. We've got the nice app library. This is what I was curious about, is it going to have the same apps that you have in Quest 2 that you can have for the Quest 3? It looks like you can. So Beat Saber, I don't care about Jurassic World. My kids play Rec Room sometimes. Remote display beta, sure. Thrill of the Fight, sure. Maestro, I actually really like that. Of course, Virtual Desktop. Skybox, BZ Fit, no. House Defender, I was interested in, but and Space Explorers, great. That one didn't work. That one didn't work. This one didn't really work. This one was okay. And yeah, so we'll install those 10 files. But as you can see, very comfortable. We can also tell it we want to change the view down here. So there's a switch view that goes from it being local, kind of low, up to a little bit bigger and further away. So this feels like it's kind of on the wall versus this feels like it's right here sitting on my desk. So it's kind of a neat thing. So as you can see, the pass-through is on. Brightness, volume, Wi-Fi, boundary, good times. People, see if there's any friends online. Store, and see what sort of interesting stuff is in the store. Christian rap that's made for youth group. What am I watching? Oh, it's an Instagram. Okay. So we've got MetaQuest TV, first encounters, first steps, events, browser. It feels very comfortable, very similar. Nothing drastically different from the MetaQuest 2. So if you're into all this stuff, then you can do this. So I guess the other question might be to try loading something up and see what it's like. So let's try the first encounters.
You're all set.
We'll see what happens.
Apps. Find friends.
Okay. First encounters. Looks like we're getting a lot of hiccup in the thing over here, but there's no lag and there's no hiccup in the headset, so that's good. So we're going to discover what's possible in mixed reality. And it says to enable this experience, you're going to need to scan your space, interact with virtual objects in mixed reality. So let's set up the space. Sure. Start scanning. So this is where I think the interesting thing with mixed reality is going to be experiences that use the size and shape of your room. I saw one where there were some enemies that were crawling into your room, space invaders or something. Make sure I get around the microphone there. Scan the floor, so it knows the size and shape of my floor. Pesky space puffians are about to flood into your room. Space puffians. Catch as many as you can. I feel like these are just tribbles. Oh, from the ceiling. That's kind of cool. How do I catch them? Ah, I have to have the laser blaster thing. sit to play this. Okay. Well, my computer's gone. Just blasted to smithereens. Alright. 123 out of 180. Highest combo is 5. Not too bad. Not too bad. Like I said, kind of a fun experience. You feel like you're still in your same room, but you're getting to do the fun stuff. More mixed reality apps. Xstadium. You can watch new sports in Xstadium. Shapes XR. You can, draw shapes? Engage, a metaverse platform. Looks like Second Life. Designed for professionals, event organizers, and corporations to build their own virtual worlds. Nanome, ultimate interface for scientific discovery. Very interesting, very interesting. Okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I could see how having a lighter weight headset, or heavier headset even, closer to your face, that this feels more comfortable, like you could wear it for longer periods of time. And certainly, like turning, I don't feel the neck strain that I used to get with the Quest 2, which has fallen off my desk. So yeah, Quest 2 definitely still cool, but probably I'm considering I might need to just sell my Quest 2 and just go Quest 3 all the time. It's because I remember I used to like being in kind of a completely different environment here, but it looks like mostly it's all very similar. Is Mountain Study? Is that new? Maybe the Meta Horizon Terrace? Okay, yeah, that's a thing. So here we are in the Mountain Study. As you can see, I can look around my environment. Feels very similar to the Quest 2. I think this is 120 hertz refresh rate. Let's see if there's something in there about settings. That refresh rate may be experimental. With that, that's going to probably conclude my unboxing video of the Meta Quest 3. So I'm going to put this up and just say, overall, so far I'm very impressed. I'm curious to see about a new strap. As you can see, there are some deep lines on my face. One of the things I like about the Bobo VR strap is that rather than pushing on the front of the face, it sits on the forehead, so it's a little bit more comfortable. Also like the battery adapter in the back, so you make sure you get the most out of the battery life on your device. But so far, MetaQuest 3, I'm fairly impressed. And as always, I have said with this technology that I am very impressed with the technology as it already is. And I'm curious, more than anything, I'm really, really, really curious to see where does this technology go in the future? Where does the Apple Vision go? What does this look like in 10 years? What's possible with a device strapped to the front of your face? So with that, I think this is concluding my unboxing video. Looks like I've got 5 more minutes, so let me just take a second and say thank you to all of our sponsors at Crossfire Faith and Gaming, to the Boulder Spirit Foundation, to our Patreon sponsors, to everybody that joins us on Monday night Discord gatherings, and I know nothing in this video talked about faith, so let me give you a final thought about faith. I think devices like this and devices like the Quest 2, anything that we can have technology that makes connection more possible, I think is a good thing. As we saw during the pandemic, we were limited to our exposure to human beings. We are already in a world where people live remotely, they live isolated, they live challenging and isolated lives. Whatever we can do to break down those barriers, when sometimes the answer can't just be physically go gather in a park someplace. Anything that we can do to break down those barriers, I think, is a positive thing. So technologies like this that break down those barriers, especially to those with different physical abilities, I think it's a wonderful thing. So that being said, this ends my review of the Meta Quest 3. I'll make sure to come back and post an update after I've had a chance to use it for a few days, use it on a travel trip that I've got coming up, and maybe try Flight Simulator in it and see what that's like. But so far I'm impressed, and I'm optimistic to see how it goes. I still don't think it's going to replace my everyday computing platform, but it might just take another place alongside some of my devices. So This is Pastor David Petty signing off. Thank you for joining me for the unboxing of the Meta Quest 3.
Crossfire.